Amanece y veo en el cielo una luz allá en lo alto.
Hi, my name is Pete Fernandez, and I'm going to give you a brief description of my training career. Back in the 80s, after I retired from boxing, I started training my brother Raul Barrios, a bantamweight here in Tampa. And I trained him for 2 fights. And he paid dearly for it because I had not a clue what I was doing. Not one single clue how to train a fighter. I still had, there's 2 hats in boxing. Well, actually, there's more than that, but there's the hat of fighter, and there's the hat of trainer. And I still have the fighter's mentality. So I didn't know how to relate. I didn't know how to give my brother information, so he paid for it. After that, I started. I wanted to learn how to be a trainer. So what I did, I started watching video of the great George Benton, the great middleweight back in the 60s and 70s, and who later became a fabulous trainer. And I also got tape and remembered some of the great George Gainford's training methods. And so I incorporated some of that, developed my own style. And the style that I have today are those 2 men's styles coupled with what I do. So the first fighter that I trained of any significant was a kid by the name of Manny Ramos. Under me, he was 3-0, had a great amateur career out of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And, excuse me, due to some marital situations, he retired. And then I just started training kids, training fighters. I trained just about every kid in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area. You name them, I trained them. So, back in, I want to say back in June of 2008, Edna Cherry and Dillard Frederick walked into my gym and said, we want to start training with you. I did. I started training Edna and Dillard, and as you well know, I took a kid who was 2 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws. I took him to fight for the WBC 140-pound world title against Timothy Bradley. Since that, I've had input in Miguel Cotto's camp. I've had the great Juan Urango, trained him for the unification bout with Devin Alexander. I've had input now in the Eureka's Gamboa camp. Emmanuel Stewart, one of my friends, we discussed the strategy for Miguel Cotto's last fight against Yuri Foreman. So I've had input. I've had, I get called just to wrap people's hands. I've worked corners with Buddy McGirt. I've worked, I wanted to give Damon a brief description of my training career, what I've done. I've been training fighters now steady, off and on since 1980, steady since 1987. And I've accomplished, I feel that I've accomplished a lot. I've traveled all over the world. I helped Irving Garcia. We went to the Ukraine and we fought the Ukrainian champion for the WBC world title, and under some weird circumstances we got a draw out of that. So, and at some point I'll explain to Damien, what happened in that fight. But you're talking about Rob. We got Rob. We should Irving Garcia should really be the WBC welterweight champion of the world. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I was in Ukraine for that fight, worked that fight. I could just go on and on and on. Thank you.